Hey guys, some of you were asking how I tie a two hook leader setup with a sinker on one end and two hooks for bottom bait fishing. So I thought I'd share it with you, and maybe you can take it, and if you've got a better way, great. But I kind of like this way; it works really well, and I've been doing it for a couple years, and it seems to do the job good. So that's what I'm going to show you today, and we'll walk you through the things that you're going to need to get this kind of setup done. Okay. So some pretty basic requirements here. I guess this is starting out for even people tying it for the first time. Most everybody who have tied this kind of outfit before knows what you need, but first you're going to need a little barrel swivel, which has an eyelet on each end. And then you'll need one of the barrel swivels with a little clasp, little hook at the other end on that. I'm using two hooks. I like to use number 6 size hooks. I think they're right for the size of fish that I fish, the trout that we have here and where I go fishing. I think a 6 is going to be the best. Although I've used size 2 hooks, and I've also used size 10 hooks, or anywhere in between, but I like the size 6 the best. Something to cut your line with, I just use a pair of fingernail clippers, any size weights of your choice there. I like to keep a nice small pair of angle nose pliers with me, just in case I need to get in there and pull something tight. I can't really grip it easy with my fingers. And then the leader line, I'm using a 12-pound test line here. It's a Trilene, a Transoptic line. You can use whatever line you want. I like to use a little heavier line on my leaders than I do that I put my spool. Usually use about a 6-pound, maybe a 4 to 8-pound on my spool, my spinning reel. But these are the things that you'll need to make this outfit that I'm going to show you today. So first I'm going to start off with a strand of line, and just at the top I'm going to make a simple half hitch, a knot. So we'll pull that knot in and make a loop at the end. Doesn't have to be real tight or anything at this point in time, but just as long as you have a little loop at the end. Probably about 6 inches down, we're going to make another loop. That's going to be where your first hook is going to be tied onto. And again, doesn't have to be real tight at this point in time, just as long as you have a basic loop there. So we've got 2 loops, about 6 inches, 6 to 8 inches down from that. We're going to go ahead and make one more loop for your second hook. And check your local laws on how many lines and how many hooks you can have. Ours is 2 hooks per line, and where you're fishing at. That's the standard one that I use. Then we're going to do one more of those little loops at the very end. And one more time, doesn't have to be real snug. So I'm going to go ahead and clip the end of the line off, our leader line here. And so we've basically got a line with 4 basic loops in it. So on the first loop, we're going to go ahead and grab our end-to-end barrel swivel there, and we're just going to loop that we made. We're going to put it in through the barrel swivel, and then we're going to put the barrel swivel back inside that loop and pull it tight, and that'll make our first knot. Now, this is what I like the pliers for. You can just take the pliers, grab the end, and you can pull it tight, so that way the barrel swivel isn't going anywhere, and that'll make a nice tight secure knot on that. Use your fingernail clippers and clip a little bit of that off so you've got a barrel swivel on the end of that. You pretty much keep doing the same thing all the way down. This time you're going to put the loop end of your hook in the loop of your leader line that you made, and then put the hook back through itself, its own loop, and pull tight, and that's going to secure your your first hook. Then you can pull this tight, and that would give you, again, a nice tight knot there. That hook's not going to go anywhere. Second one, and you can put either the loop or your hook in first, doesn't matter. You put that in through the leader loop that you made, and then put the hook in itself, its own loop, and then pull tight on that. and that'll create another knot. Pull tight, and now you have yourself the barrel swivel with 2 hooks attached to the loops that you made earlier. And lastly, we're going to hook the swivel with the clasp on that. We're going to put the loop through the eyelet of the swivel, and then we're going to put the swivel back through its own loop, and just kind of like we did all the times before, we're going to cinch that down tight so that it forms a knot. And you can take your pliers on this one again, grab that string end that we had cut and pull it tight so you don't have a big loop there. And again, that's not going anywhere. Clip the tag end off so you get a clean knot there. So that's the finished rig. I use the clasp end of the part to put your weights on, and that way you can take weights on and take them off. You can add another weight to it. You can take this one off, put a lighter weight. But basically that's what I use that end for, is putting your weight in. And then at the end of my spool line, I have another clasp where I can change outfits based on the size of the hook, and if I want to use a lure or something else. But basically this is the top end, and here we've got a full leader line. I never store mine with the sinkers on them. I like to put them in my my line holder, and they hold really well. They're fantastic, and they work great. So that's kind of how I make my 2-hook leader line. I hope that helps you, and happy fishing.